The name of the article was I Was Selling a Lie, and it was a picture of Boy George talking about Karma Chameleon. I kind of know Boy George's story, so I didn't read the article. And I figured it out a long time ago that these stories come out 10, 20, 30 years after we, vault someone into the stratosphere and we find out what it was really like. If you've ever watched David Letterman's My Next Guest, guest after guest after guest talk about what it was like at the height of their fame, at the height of their success, and what was really going on with them behind the scenes. And if you watch enough of those things, you start to realize that often attaining certain levels of success or certain levels of beauty and fitness uh, in, take a toll on someone. So David Letterman's My Next Guest is a great thing to watch for something like that. But you've seen the articles. You watch Britney Spears. Britney Spears had this career. A lot of people trashed her and all that stuff, and then you find out what went on behind the scenes. And Justin Bieber, what happened behind the scenes, and then we talk about our luminaries. The things that I found out about Mel Robbins, who I had a crush on and just loved. Just some of those things just kind of turned my stomach, and Jay Shetty, and then Andrew Huberman, and some of his business dealings, like I'm not, and I don't mean to just pick them out and trash them. I'm saying we put these people up on pedestals, and then we find out that they're hopelessly human. And what I'm here to share with you is that I have not met a spiritual guru, an influencer, a star, a pretty person, a leadership coach who isn't hopelessly human, who doesn't run the gamut of human qualities. They're good at some things and they're not good at others. When I first started getting into men's work, there were a couple of guys who were ridiculously good facilitators of helping people go deep into their shadow, mine the gold that they needed to mine there, and then bring them through the process. And I was always in awe. And then I was shocked to find out that their own lives were messes. There was mess. Like they were masters at running the program. They had their own problems, and I judged them for that because I wanted these processes to actually make us better humans, and they do. But I wanted perfection. And what I've learned over 60 some odd years is that yes, we do. We get better and better. We get more and more free. We're troubled by less and less stuff, but we're never not human. I know that because I keep a $30 or $40 little container of sugar-free chocolate chips in my pantry, and I cannot live without my sugar-free chocolate chips. So as leaders, when we're looking at the leadership trainings that we see, the videos and the articles on LinkedIn, or even when we go for a course and someone stands in front of the room and says, you must be vulnerable, but strong, but efficient, and you must delegate, but you must know the weeds. Right? Like when they give you all the directives of all the things you're supposed to be keeping track of and all the plates you're supposed to be spinning, no, you're a human being doing that. And that they're giving you the ideal. They're giving you, this is what we're striving for. We're striving to delegate, empower, support, mentor, coach. And it's going to fall down because you're going to be traveling to another country while something's going on. You're going to come home jet lagged and just not have it in you to do the coaching. And then you're going to snap because your allostatic load is hard. And so you're going to be hopelessly human while you lead. You're going to be hopelessly human when you're in a relationship with your significant other. You're going to be hopelessly human while you parent. And that's okay. That's the beauty of this. Someone else was just saying in an article that he felt like a 12-year-old just kind of making up this parenting thing. And even though he was in his 40s, and that's all of us. We're all just trying to figure this out. Yeah. I'm stumbling over myself because I'm getting really, really excited. I only learn from people who show me their humanity. I only learn from people who show me their mistakes, where they didn't live their values, where they didn't live up to how they were, the lessons that they're teaching, and then how they got to be better at them. those are the people who can help me because I'm far from perfect in anything. And when I share, when I I make my little 90-second videos for social media, and sometimes they're profoundly insightful. That's the moment that I'm precisely in the that's the moment I'm profoundly insightful. And all the other times I'm just Mark. I talk about someone asked me about being friends with people who work for you, and I talked about how a lot of my clients would like to be friends with me. And some of my clients have just been together, we've just been together for a really long time, and they want to go to a baseball game or a hockey game or to dinner or something with me. And I make it very, very clear that if we're going out for a social engagement, Mark is showing up. Coach Mark is not showing up. Mark has ADD. Mark is a little bit goofy, a little bit self-conscious. Coach Mark is laser focused, has no ADD, and is right. Like my heartbeat is beating with my clients. I'm so focused and so in the conversation, so that I'm feeling and resonating with whatever's happening on the other side of the screen or on the other side with the other person. Uh, but Mark doesn't do that. Mark is just another human being. And I want them to know that those are two different people because I don't want them to lose faith in their coach. And that I only do that with people I know for a really long time so that they understand. I wouldn't do that to a new client because again, we're establishing a cadence and a relationship. Hopefully, I never put forth an air of perfection or like I've got this thing more than I do. I try to be really real, but that's what I want you to look for. I want you to look for the people who are real with you, who tell you the truth, and not just not the perform. Some of the people I mentioned use performative vulnerability uh, to kind of hook you in. I want to talk. I mean, they make the same mistakes you make, and this is how they correct the mistake. So learn that. So I was only telling a lie. Everybody's telling a lie. My favorite lie is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, one of the most successful people who ever lived. And I look in his eyes and I see a miserable human being. I see a person who does not has uh, not experienced his success, enjoyed his success, and feels like he's living in his legacy. And Michael Jordan was a hero of mine. And when I look in his eyes and I see that pain and that anguish, it breaks my heart. But it tells me the sacrifice that people make for greatness. And I wonder often, is it worth it? Stevie Nicks once said that from the band Fleetwood Mac, she said, if we didn't have music, I probably would have married Lindsey Buckingham, would have had kids, and would have been a housewife. And she probably would have been happy, and it wouldn't have been decades of drug use and misery to get to where she is. She's an icon, but the pain that she endured to get to this status. Now we have music that we love. Fleetwood Mac is one of my favorites, but I would much rather, if she would have rather, have her be a housewife, happy, playing with her grandchildren. So think about that. You're hopelessly human. You're capable of doing this while you're hopelessly human. And I love you so much. Have a great rest of the day.